How's it going? I'm Mr. Cordes, and today we're going to be talking about exposure. When we talk about photography for Yearbook, we tend to get a little too in-depth, so I'm going to try and keep this short, and I'm going to have somebody edit this so when I start rambling on, shutter speed. As you can see up here, the higher your shutter speed, the faster it goes. For example, 1/400th of a second, you're going to tend to freeze the motion. The lower your shutter speed, you're going to get motion blur. So if you're the ISO, if you have got a higher ISO, it's going to be a lot grainier, it's a lot of image noise. That's when you get those photos like you see on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, where it just looks really grainy and doesn't look the best when it's dark. The higher the ISO, the more that you're going to get. The lower your ISO, the more sharp, more crisp your images are going to become. That's going to really help you out. As far as aperture, which is generally given in an F number, they call it an f-stop. We're not going to get into that too much today, but the numerically higher your f-stop, so in this case I just threw down f32, it's going to be a deeper depth of field. So more of your image from the foreground to the background of your image will be in focus. When you see those photos where it's just a person's face that's in focus and everything behind them is totally blown out and out of focus, that's what we call a shallow depth of field. For that, you're going to need lenses that have what they call a faster lens with a numerically lower f number. If you had something that was f1, you would have guaranteed spent a lot of money on your lens and you would be able to have a really shallow depth of field. Generally speaking, if it's me, if you're outside, I'll tell you right now, if it's me, it's a sunny day, I'm going to have a shutter speed, maybe even 1/400th of a second. I'm going to have an ISO right at 100, and I'm going to have a depth of field probably at around f8 for that. If you're inside, if you're shooting a dance, I'll tell you right now, just go ahead and take the aperture, go numerically as low as you can go. Some of the lenses that we have for Yearbook are going to go as low as f1.4. Others, and quite commonly, pretty good lenses will be f2.8, and you'll just set it right down to that. From there, you're going to pick your minimum shutter speed that you can have as far as the slowest shutter speed that you can run. Again, like I say, I try and stay around 1 to 1/25th of a second. Sometimes I'll really push it and dip down to 1/80th of a second. Get there at f2.8, and you're going to be at an ISO number maybe around 1,000, maybe even up to 3,200. Depending on how new your camera is, you can really push your ISO a lot higher. I know one of my friends picked up. So keep all these things in mind and you'll be all set. If you have questions, leave them down below in the comments and we'll try and solve your problems for you.